It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Paul Harding from Martin Harding Mazzotti on the phone. Hey, Paul.
Good morning, guys.
Paul's going to clear up a new bill that they're pushing that would require all kids to get their vaccination shots.
No matter what,
No
right?
religious exemption. Is that the one loophole, Paul?
Well, so there's religious exemption is the one that is certainly getting the highlights here. They're going to eliminate all exemptions other than for medical reasons. But interestingly enough, no major medical, I take that back, no major religious group objects to vaccination. So what we have here is a little loophole in New York, and it says if you have a philosophical reason to object to the vaccinations, that was also allowed. So that's where most of these exemptions came from, and if this law passes, that will be gone.
So there's no religion that is anti-vaccination.
Well, the Hasidic Jewish population is really taking the brunt of it, aren't they?
It seems to be where the most resistance is, but the Jewish leaders around the state and around the country have all commented that they are not anti-vaccination.
People are using this on an individual basis, not on a group basis, to get around getting their kid vaccinated. So if the law goes through, what happens?
Well, if the law goes through, then if your child is not vaccinated, that he or she will not be able to attend school. And when that happens, now you've got truancy, now you've got laws being violated. So in essence, it could take it as far as they need to take it, but your children could be taken away. I mean, those are some of the things being written about, and it certainly is very possible because school is something that they're not going to allow the children not to attend. Ultimately here, what I see happening is this thing actually passing. It passed in California. Everyone said, well, the First Amendment rights are going to be affected. There's going to be, a backlash, and because right to religious freedom is going to be tacked. But California got through it. Another state down south got through it, and I believe we will be the third.
I feel like it's just good business. It's not like a rights thing, you guys.
Yeah, except you're putting a needle in another human on per order of the government, and that's always
to protect
scary.
Other humans, too. You know?
I get it, but you're still putting a needle into a child because the government told you to. Isn't that odd when you say it that way, Paul?
It is, and so then they start pulling out the statistic that show that about 500 children a year were dying. Several thousand, 50,000 a year were hospitalized as a result of measles now. And, of course, there were many that had brain damage. So when you start pulling out those children that would be protected from that, now, again, if there's secondary effects of this, I mean, that's what is really driving the sort of anti-vaxxers looking at all the things that they think can happen. So I just think at this point that that's going to outweigh the public good is going to outweigh that First Amendment argument.
I'm pretty sure I got that, the measles stuff. Pretty sure I got all that.
I'm sure you did.
I don't know if I got that second shot they talk about, but I wonder how many people are literally rolling the dice not knowing if they got it or not, that are my age, that are, that have been around for a bit.
I don't know. I just know I remember lining up as a kid like cattle, and they just were pumping them in my arm, and no one thought about it twice, pumped for days, and yeah.
Well, this could go through this session, so this could be done pretty quickly, right?
That seems to be the argument. They don't say they have enough votes now, but the momentum is growing, and, once these legislators start hearing from the people in their home districts, that's when they start casting their votes, or at least saying that they're going to go that way, and that seems to be the momentum.
I hope they do something tricky, like attach legal weed to this bill.
Just
kind of fast track it through.
Right.
Like they do
up in the
Congress.
You got my vote, brother.
We're all on board for that. All right, Paul Harding, thank you so much this morning.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Paul Harding, Martin Harding Mazzotti. Paul Harding.